Hello and welcome back to this Crankworx video recap. We're a bit late because right now we're traveling. With me is the good Daniel Rowe. G-Sport is directing back there and Jacopo is here too. And right now we're at a rest area in Austria around Salzburg on our way to Kalnitz because we'll be staying there for a week. But we're not falling behind. So we brought all the equipment with us to give you the recap of the Crankworx in Cairns, the third edition this year, and it was an absolutely amazing edition. Because a lot of things happened, there were
Things that changed.
a lot of things. Tell me a bit about where we are. Daniel Rowe?
We are in Cairns, in the northeast of Australia, in the Queensland region, famous for its coral reef. And it's a tropical region, so being a tropical region, it creates a very unique environment for a Crankworx event. Very humid, you could say. I've been there 3 times. Trust me, you sweat through a lot of shirts, you sweat a lot.
So why did we say it was an incredible edition? Because there were a lot of new things. For example, the comeback of Emil Johansson after his shoulder and wrist injury. After quite a while, Fecko also came back. After almost a year out of competitions because of his femur injury, Davy Gozzi, last year's Triple Crown winner, also came back with a knee injury that made him miss the Rotorua stop, so he can't win the Triple Crown anymore. Why are there only 3 stops this year? At the moment, the only one in the running to win it is Tim Brinjol. So, all the top riders have come back to compete against each other. As if that wasn't enough, the course has changed.
The course has changed. From halfway on, they've removed the on and off feature. The quarter and what used to be called the crocktail, which was a step up, landing, and quarter all made of wood. That has been completely removed, and it's gone now. The possibility of the double line. Before there was a double line where you could choose whether to exit the crocktail to the left or to the right. In this case, now everything has been removed, but a flat drop to the ground has been added, a hip speed jump, and a step down.
Yes, a couple of straight jumps, and
Then the final jump is unchanged.
everything was done to speed up the run since Crankworx has timing issues with live streaming. By doing so, they took quite a bit of time off each individual run.
Having tried the course in previous years though, before the changes, I know it was hard to reach the last jump with enough speed. There have always been major issues.
But in recent years, they arrived much more calmly. All right, having said all these important things, let's start with the top 3 women's runs, because now they're also doing the Cranker.
So let's start with the first one, Alma Wigberg from Sud Italia then. She drops, skips the whole feature on and off with a nice suicide, gets to the first ramp strong with an incredible flip bar spin, first drop, top organo, no.
No, come on, I was about to start crying there. A 360.
Watch out, a nice 360 which you don't often see from girls, but Alma really nails it. Flip 1 foot can suicide on the step down and finishes with a nice 3 bar on the last jump.
So Alma has started to throw in some interesting combinations. Flip combos, 3 combos. It's starting to look like a complete run. I had no doubt that she won it because seeing how it went in Rotorua, she wasn't there. I almost want to say that the other girls aren't really training, honestly, but oh well. In fact, let's go take a look at the...
Alma's Swedish school, Emil's school.
So it's Swedish. It has everything you need to train. It has the life coach, Emil Johansson. But the others, anyway, are not putting in the effort. In my opinion, this should also be said. And in fact, let's watch now. Patricia Druven's run came in second, and you'll notice that unfortunately there hasn't been any progress compared to the runs she did last year and so on.
And so on. But she stayed still, you know, for a year.
Patty starts as well, jumping over the whole fin section in a suicide move. Just like Alma shows off her rear spoilers while she's getting her tonsils operated on. Maybe that's why she was a bit off her game. Then she throws a huge flip on the first jump. Too much speed in a bar spin, which I already appreciate more than the toboggan. Continues with a tuck no hand. And on the last 3 jumps, here's another toboggan. Huh? Another bar spin on the step down, and she finishes with an oppo bar to bar flip-flop run. Okay, he put in some tricks, but these are tricks he was doing last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, always the same ones.
No, we know about Patricia's potential.
So we know it.
She has great potential.
So when she posts on Instagram, flip, triple bar, spin, triple truck driver, then she gets there, who knows? What's the reason?
Then we want to talk about why Diego hates toboggans so much.
But because it's not a trick, I mean, it's too easy. It's even easier than doing a one-hand. I mean, if you do a one-hand like this, it's harder than doing a toboggan. So leave it alone, please, please. Let's move on to third place, Natasha Miller, who has always been on the podium for a long time now.
She also uses the on and off feature of the drop with a top bar spin going up.
Ah, she's a toboggan master. Always tobogganing everywhere, even there, quick with a toboggan drop. In fact, I have a bit of trouble watching these runs. You comment on it, really, go ahead.
Bar spin on the step down, on the step up, suicide on the step down.
And
Finishes with a
nice straight jump. Unfortunately, this was his best run, despite the last straight jump. Because on the last jump in the second run, he did a huge flip over. She landed straight on her butt. She even stayed there for a moment. It's okay. Let's get to the heart of the matter now because there was a really tough fight here. Should we start from third or first place? Let's start from third. This time, Chance M-O-O-R-E, incredible, guys. Our friend Chance Moore from Rotterdam, straight from Canada, where Danny Rowe comes from. Just recently, he starts off on fire, clearing the whole first office with a flip double bar to 1 foot Kenken. And here the run has already begun. A powerful flip double on the first jump. Guys, I assure you, doing a flip double is not easy. I confirm Jacopalio, I confirm it completely. Fronty from the drop just to mix up the rotations a bit, and immediately an oppo. 720, guys, an oppo 720. Already, hardly anyone does a straight 720, let alone an oppo 7. Hats off to him.
hats off to him.
He finishes the final line with a flip-up whip step down into a cork 720, just to add some high rotation. And on the last jump, this world first front untoward down to 1 foot. Ken, and here, how do you explain this, Danny Rowe? What can you tell me? Here?
That he trained a lot. He has an insane compound there in Canada at his place where he can train every single day and you can see the results.
He came in like a train because this is only his third Crankworx. He did Innsbruck and Rotorua where he crashed, but if he had landed that jump, I think he probably would have won. Maybe, yeah. And here, third place again. I mean, he's right there, ready. In my opinion, what could he be missing? Not much.
Very little.
Maybe a few more combos.
Here and there, yes, maybe a few combos like bar spin style. Emil, though, let's say, unfortunately, is there.
But it has to be said that on almost all the jumps, there are at most triple combos. So double combos or at most triple. And that's probably where he's a bit lacking. But let's take a look at last year's triple car winner, David Gozzi, who almost made it. Guys.
Triple from last year, from 2024.
Triple Crown, by the way, means that you win all 3 stages, you win 3 out of 3 stages. It's an extra prize of 25,000 Canadian dollars.
Yes, that's equivalent to 16,117, about 18 to 19,000 euros.
And don't throw them away, no.
I certainly don't find them on the street.
Oh no, it hasn't happened and we see him leaving. Good David also uses the off.
He uses the on-off.
Track driver to go up, I have powers to go down. Watch out for the switches, because these matter a lot when you do such a complex run. His signature? Twister no hand, a bit messy, throws in an extra bar spin, flip bar from the drop, and here, compared to Chance, it's much, much more with every bar. He tried a no-hander, but missed it, though I don't think it led to any deductions. And he continues on the last 3 jumps, triple tailwind caught just with the tips of his toes, 3-6 bar to tuck. No step down. I'm not sure if you've tried the sport tour. It's really tough. Have you ever done it? I don't know. I'd like to see you do it one day, but look, it's tough stuff. Straight jump, forget it. You can't even... And he finishes the last jump with a casual tailwind on command and takes it home. Perfect. And I told him before, also because there was a bit of a strange situation at this Crankworx, where all the strong ones went first. Yeah, since they were all injured. So the rules require that they start before the ones who are regularly ranked. Anyway, the first 3 were like nuclear bombs. You'd say, damn guys, what's happening? Because now it's time to see how he managed to win. What can you say to him after a run like that?
What did the caveman say?
The caveman ate a lot of tuna, I think so. So when I saw this era, I was screaming. Next time I'll record myself, I'm telling you, because Tim tells me he started, he dropped, skipping everything. The on-off and double flip tuck makes no sense. Look at that, he went to China. I don't know how he does that ramp. Is it supposed to be like that? Probably yes. And then flip double to bar, quadruple combo here too from the drop flip tuck, which for now, he's the only one doing it on the jump. Here too, quad combo 360 whip to double bar, continues with a 360 double whip to bar. Well, for me, this is a repetition, but oh well. Step down and double backflip and finishes on the last jump with a cash roll hex up. So, triple combo, double rotation, complicated stuff. What do you think, Daniel Rohde, about this run? A.
Out of his mind. If you think linking all those features with that level of tricks is easy,
Do it. No. By the way, I have to say that in my opinion, if David Gozzi had fixed it with the front bar tack, and then, like he did in the second run, he attempted the cash to bar, if he had landed it, if he had closed it, he could have even outdone him. Because we have to say that Bridget repeats some tricks. There's that double step down. Now he did a jump.
a small repetition.
The 3-6 to double bar with the 3-6 double whip to bar, there are a lot of similar tricks. If he added a couple of combos. Infrani, that's it, goodbye. Anyway, at this point, we have to give an honorable mention to good Eric Fedko, who, as you said before, tell us what happened.
Good Eric Fedko threw down a crazy run, but unfortunately, since he dropped in first, riders who drop in first are never really judged 100%, because you still have to set the baseline for everything, and let's say the first runs are always the ones that are a bit underjudged, more or less.
So, as a judge, I'll tell you that I disagree a bit. It depends on who the judge is. I judge it the same way no matter what.
I know that because
I know what I see. But maybe someone who's not that experienced gets more carried away by what it is. Then they exaggerate at those points.
you know what I mean?
I have to say, a lot of time passes between the first and last drop, which also makes a difference. Anyway, good old Fedko wins the honorable mention for best style. No doubt about it. Because he threw down a run and now describe it for me? Go ahead.
He starts his run, skipping the whole drop feature with a huge 3 whip to bar,
Yeah, and then this one, 3 downside.
2 Superman seat grab Indian air,
Super clean, yeah, the most stylish you can do.
simple flip drop, classic 7 cork on the step up in his own way, continues with a skip to the 3 jump.
This one, 3 windshield wiper.
Like this, 3 from the step down and a huge double finished smoothly.
Let's not overdo it. I've already done enough.
Yeah, but what he did on his first run was insane. First rider to drop that much.
That's impressive. And a half. I think so because, being the first to go. The judge couldn't give too many points because if everyone else went higher, he wouldn't fit in with the scores.
Exactly, points.
At this point, let's take a look at some of the twists that happened in this crank or scares, because there were quite a few. The first of all, as I predicted, the blow-up of Emil Johansson, at least I said that Emil wouldn't be able to handle the pressure and that a disaster would happen. But I didn't know what exactly. Unfortunately, the guy threw a massive wipeout. After starting with a blazing run, as usual,
He came back fired up because his butt was burning.
in which, by the way, he landed a world first, which would be this Oppo 360 triple downside tail-up robe.
Just like in a video game.
Maybe I haven't even seen it done in the game because there's no time. Here it is. Unfortunately, then the same mistake happened that he made at the district ride. Do you remember? So, he landed way too far. Okay, but before that, there was a mistake I mentioned, like the one at the district ride. Since he missed the handlebar, I don't know how he managed to grab it again and get back on the pedals.
He still managed to get back on the bike, but unfortunately by landing that far, just a little bit over, even the wheel couldn't withstand the pressure of the trick. Also,
If
if the tire hadn't blown out, he could have been saved.
It's also bad luck that the joint was right where it broke, because those tires were definitely new, never used, but that's how it went. Our Emilio Anso goes home with a broken collarbone and a rib, if I'm not mistaken, plus a head injury because the hardest hit was to the head. In fact, he was taken away on a stretcher. Another notable crash was by good old Upi, who on the last jump did a front double bar, which used to be my signature trick. Unfortunately, though, he came in slow, so he did the first bar. Hesitated for a moment and then threw it, but it was already too late. He didn't complete the rotation and landed on his back after a hand. It's a shame. But he managed to recover on the second try. If I'm not mistaken, he finished 7th or 6th, so he's still up there.
He keeps a good position to hold on to some of the necessary points, and good old Jake.
He put it together after an attempt at a twister to manual. On the second run, he came to a complete stop on the last section, did a cash that didn't even make it over there. He was almost on the platform and then moved on. Well, Jake, too, this time nothing to do. He's in a good position.
The game is a bit there on the edge, but I feel a bit sorry because let's say he's got it. He has a fabulous technique and you can really see it, especially on the box on off. At the beginning, he's the only one doing certain street style tricks. Trial-like, which when done is a...
He has a strong trial background, and actually, his technique is impressive. Another crash, that of Liam Bayliss, who went for a cork 720, but completely missed it. And last, we have Katie Coopers, who did the longest nose manual in the world on a landing. Guys, after a short landing, honestly, I don't get why she tried that step down since it was clear she wouldn't make it. She did a nose manual the whole way and crashed face first. Poor thing, but she's tough.
Luckily, she didn't get hurt.
No one would recommend that type of crash. I've been through it myself.
Many of us have been through it.
You know, when we built the line at Pippo's, I also did the whole landing manually.
It's true, but I held it. I wasn't there, but I held it because what happened?
We went to ride at Livigno, hyped with a downhill for like a week. We get down to Pippo's, who had built new jumps. And the first gap was a 12-meter speed jump. You couldn't warm up. You just started and dropped in on the dirt bike. I pushed off awkwardly since I was used to the downhill. So I landed the whole thing in a nose manual, and then, luckily, the back wheel came down. All right, nothing happened. That's how this episode ends. Recap of the Crankworx. Thanks to Danilo for participating and sharing his insider knowledge, since he also experienced Cairns. I hope
To come back one day.
see you with this format in August with the last stop. And let's hope everything goes well. Guys, because who knows? I'll end it here. I won't say anything else. Best regards.